Welcome to this presentation on MLA Citations. I'm Patricia Morris, Coordinator of Library Research at the Florida Gateway College Library. This video is part 1 on how to do MLA citations. We're going to talk about how to use the research you do for your college papers and how to give credit for it through in-text citations using the MLA style. When we talk about citations, we mean the documentation of the research that you did when writing your paper. Why do we need to cite our resources? Well, when you write a paper, you'll have a combination of ideas and concepts, some of which are original to you and some ideas and concepts that come from other sources, the research that you've done in preparing to write your paper. For any idea that is not original to you, you must provide a citation that will answer the question, how do you know this? We use citations to show you did the research, to give credit for the work of others, to provide information so someone can look up the original source, and to avoid plagiarism. In the FGC Student Handbook, plagiarism is defined as the unauthorized use of the words or ideas of another and the representation of them as one's own. Plagiarism, including unintentional plagiarism, may result in serious consequences, so it's important that you understand how to use citations to properly give credit for the work of others. Citation styles have a lot of rules, but the number one rule is to always follow your instructor's directions, even if they differ from the formats given here. There are many different types of citation styles. MLA and APA are the two most common ones, and we'll only focus on MLA here. MLA stands for the Modern Language Association, and among other things, they publish the MLA Handbook. You may be familiar with the MLA book cover on the left, which is the 7th edition. The book cover on the right is the 8th edition, released in April 2016, and we'll be using that today. There are two ways we give credit in a paper. In-text citations are used in the body of your paper and identify the source of the information right after you use the words or ideas of another. Readers can then refer to the second way that you give credit, which is the list of all your resources at the end of the paper. You may have heard the end of paper list of resources called a bibliography. In MLA, it's called Works Cited. This page lists the complete and full citation of all the resources you used in your paper or presentation. Let's say we're doing a paper on Michael Jackson and we've used information from this book, Man and the Music, The Creative Life and Work of Michael Jackson by Joseph Vogel. The information can be written in our paper in several ways, as a direct quote, as a paraphrase, or as a summary of the author's work. In our paper, we could include a quote from the book. A quote or quotation is identical to the original resource. It must match the source document word for word and must be attributed to the original author. We put quotation marks around the quote to show it is word for word from the original source. The quote we're using here is, "Thriller was more than just an album. It was a mass cultural, multimedia phenomenon that hasn't been matched in scope before or since." Since these are the author's words taken directly from the book, we put them in quotation marks. Another type is the paraphrase. You paraphrase by putting the author's ideas in your own words. Because the idea is not original to you, you have to give credit in a citation. If we paraphrase the same quote from the previous example, we could write, "The album Thriller was such a great achievement that its success hasn't been matched by any other albums." The third type is the summary. Summarizing involves putting the main idea into your own words, including only the main focus. It's short and to the point. We can summarize the original quote by saying, "Thriller was considered the most successful album of all time." So how would you document that the information in your quote, paraphrase, or summary came from another's work? In MLA style, the format for an in-text citation is parentheses, author's last name, page number, close parentheses. So for our 3 sentences, we could write parentheses, Vogel, 55 as the page number, close parentheses. It's the same whether you use a quote, paraphrase, or summary. Let's look further at some rules and variations to this format. If you use the author's name as part of your sentence construction, it's called using a signal phrase. Then you would include the page number only in parentheses. Here our signal phrase is, Vogel calls Thriller the most successful album of all time. Then we have the page number 55 in parentheses at the end of the sentence. If your cited work has two authors, cite both last names using "and" in the in-text citation. If our Michael Jackson book was written by two authors, Vogel and Wilde, our citation would be parentheses, Vogel and Wilde, 55, close parentheses. If you have three or more authors, list the first author only, followed by et al., which means all others. In this format, it would be parentheses, Vogel, et al., and notice the period after the word all, then the page number 55 and close parentheses. If the same author has more than one work, include the title in the citation. So if we're doing a paper on Stephen King and we're citing different works by him, our in-text citation would read parentheses, King, comma, then the title of the specific work we've just referred to in italics, then the page number and close parentheses. Again, here is an example of a paper in MLA format, and you can see the in-text citations. These point us to the corresponding end-of-paper list of entries on the works cited page. Remember that the in-text citations appear right after you use the specific information and direct you to the works cited page, which lists all of the sources you used in your research. This concludes Part 1 of MLA Citations. Be sure to watch Part 2, which covers the MLA core elements and works cited page entries, and Part 3, which uses the MLA template to create a variety of citation examples. We hope this presentation has been helpful to you. If you have any questions about using MLA citations, please do not hesitate to ask us for help in the library. We're here to help you be successful in your classes. Thanks for watching, and good luck.